Hello, this is Mrs. Neubauer, and let's work on our penmanship. So, 1 and 2 fell in love. Yep, 2 said, "You're the only one for me." So our lesson goal for 15A is to work on numbers. We're going to learn how to write the numbers 0 through 6. So we're going to break up our numbers, and we're actually going to add some punctuation in. So 15 will have 3 different lessons. First lesson for A is to work on 0. So 0 is just like O, it's just a little narrower, just so we know the difference between an O and a 0 when you're looking at it. A 1 is straight vertical line down. 2 is a curve, and then it comes down to the baseline with horizontal. 3 is like little curves put together. 4 is basically just horizontal vertical lines. 5 is 2 straight lines with the curve, and 6 is one big curve the whole time. 6 is a fun one. All right, let's get started. Okay, and if I haven't said this already, make sure you're giving me L, good posture for our penmanship. You have 15A in front of you, numbers practice 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to trace over the numbers by staying in the line, and then we're going to try some on our own. Okay, so for 0, 0 is going to be even narrower than our O we just practiced for uppercase. So one big curve, so very narrow, 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 touch the big line, coming back up. Do your best you can. Zeros are symmetric down the center. And actually they could be symmetric. The dash line too. But because we're handwriting, not a printer, we're doing the best we can. So I'll trace over my zeros. 0, down to the bottom, come back up, and if only I could see you, you're probably getting faster with your handwriting. Your hand muscles are building, your finger muscles. You're getting more confident in your letters, and now we're going to work on numbers too. So numbers still have the same letter stems, curves, strokes as we did for upper and lowercase letters. So just like we've been doing, you're going to practice 5 with me, and then you're going to try to do the rest all the way to the end of the line. And remember that if you're still not getting that number down, to print off another sheet, or you can work on some notebook paper. Good. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. All right, so if you need to pause it, you can pause it, continue if that's how you want to practice. Otherwise, we're going to continue to 1. Now 1 is the easiest number of them all. It also is the loneliest number. It's a song. So 1 is just straight up and down. 1. 1 vertical line. Definitely probably writing this the fastest of all your numbers today. Okay, so this was basically the first thing you did on your letter stems from our lesson number 3. You did vertical lines. How did you know you're going to write the number 1 on one of the first lessons? Okay, so you can continue on, although you probably can do that pretty good. I'm going to say as an A plus number today. Okay, so 2 has 2 strokes. We're going to start a little bit below, almost in the middle, curve it up, and then when we hit the top, we're going to continue to curve. But once you get to that middle, you're going to straight do a diagonal down to the bottom. So we really haven't worked on that before, a curve and a straight line. But if you turn your paper, it's actually almost like a J and almost like a U. So you have kind of practiced that before, just in a different way. Okay, the bottom is just our horizontal on the baseline. So let's practice some 2s. 2, all the way down to the bottom, straight line over. Good. 2. Almost, if you look at it, it almost looks like a half of heart, doesn't it? Now that I see it, you're already drawing hearts. You're printing 2s and drawing half of hearts. Who would have thought? All right, horizontal across. Good. So nice and slow and controlled, building that finger muscles, hand muscles, muscle memory. Miss Neubauer, you're always talking so much about muscle memory. It's important because you're going to be printing a lot of times through school. It's good to have good print penmanship down. Okay, so curve it up. When you get to the middle, that's when you start your diagonal down to the bottom baseline. Your half a heart, and then horizontal to the right. Great. So you're going to continue on. Otherwise, we're going to work on number 3. So 3, I don't think we've really had this kind of curves before. It's almost like a whole circle, but not quite. Like we were going to finish doing the circle. It has that same kind of feel to the curve. So the first one, you're going to curve, touch the top, curve it to the dashed line. The second curve, you're going to go from that point, curve it down. It's like a backwards C. So they'd be very circular, not more like oval. So let's trace them. All right, down to the bottom, come back up, release. 3. 3 is a very original number. Most of the numbers are pretty original. Okay, 3. And you're probably asking yourself, Ms. Neubauer, why do I have to practice numbers? Well, you're also going to write a lot of numbers, so it's good to know if you write a number, somebody knows what that number is. Plus, when you get into math, more math, you're going to write a lot of numbers. It's important to know your numbers, especially when it comes to many. Okay, so once you get those 3s done, you're going to try one on your own. So kind of start almost to the middle, curve up. Going to create that circle to the baseline. And then don't lift your pen. You're going to curve all the way to the bottom, touch the baseline. And just recall, it's handwriting, so each number might look different because that's why we're handwriters, we're not computer printers. Okay, so you're going to continue on. Otherwise, let's start on 4. 4 is basically 3 lines put together. So vertical line to the dashed line. We're going to go over to the right, probably about the same length, and all the way from the top. Vertical line down. Practice that a lot, just like 1. So 4 should be a good number. It's probably your second easiest today after 1. Down to the bottom. Vertical to the dashed. Same length over. Vertical down. Good. Keep tracing, getting that muscle memory. Those finger muscles going. Can amaze people. What did you do today for your lesson? I worked on my finger muscles. I'll probably look at you funny. You might have to explain about Miss Neubauer and her finger muscle memory. Okay. Let's try one on your own. Straight line down. Don't have to lift your pen. All the way to the right. And you're going to go up to the top, and you want to be able to touch that line. If you don't touch that line and there's some space, you can go back and touch it too. You can always go back. It's okay. Until you get these down, you're going to keep doing your 4s all the way to the end. To left, we have 5 and 6. So some people write 5s. They go from the left to the right. So the top could be either way. You can see how you want to write your 5. I don't know why I get so used to writing. I start to the left and work to the right because that's how we read. So first stroke, go back and do your vertical line down. Then kind of like the 3 where you're going to start, it's like a backward C. You're going to start come a little above the dash and then come back around. Try that out, another backward C, a little bit more of a C than the one on 3. The 3 is kind of more open, where this one almost is equal when they begin and start. Okay, so you can see what I mean. You can either go left to right or right to left. It's up to you. However you want to start your 5. I don't want to tell you yes or no. So maybe try it left to right. The second one, try it right to left. Other than when you are going to write numbers next to each other, it's harder to estimate. So I think that's probably why I like to go left to right, because that's where, remember when we did our letters with lowercase, making words, it's harder to come back around. You know you have your space. All right, we're almost done for today. I got our numbers. They're going to be fabulous. Fabulous 5 numbers so far. Okay. Once you trace to my 5, you're ready for your own. So left to right, come back to the beginning, down to the dash line, and you're going to go above the dash line, make a nice C to the left. Backward C. Good. And you continue to practice your 5s all the way to the end. Last one. Okay, we have our 6. 6. Okay, so 6 is one big curve. One big curve. No straight lines on our 6. So 6, you're going to start at the top, curve it down, just like we've been doing. You're going to touch the bottom, curving back up, touch that dash line, and curving back down. Keep on going. All right, so this is definitely a harder one because you got to continue moving your hand. Some people have a hard time. You can try to just use your fingers and try not to move your hand. You should be okay just to use your fingers. And this is a really big number because we're practicing. It's easier to learn when things are larger than smaller. But remember, we work at large, medium, small, and wide rule. So it'll get easier to write your numbers. Okay, one more to trace. Give yourself, oh yeah, give your hand some encouragement. Nice work, hand. You're doing a great job. All right, last one to trace. So that means you can start doing some on your own. Okay, keep curving, touch the baseline, curving back up, touch that dash line, and curve back down. Phew, 6 is a lot of work. Okay, continue your 6s. Okay, so you're going to practice completing your number 15A. There's zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if you need more, you can always grab your paper, trace over, or you can just print your sheet off and try again. All right, I feel like we accomplished our goal for our lesson 15A, writing our numbers 0 through 6. I hope you feel that as well. You're working through so many, remember we did uppercase and lowercase, really that's 26 and 26, and now we're working through our numbers too. So you've done a lot, and you should give yourself a pat on the back, a little encouragement, tell people, oh, I'm working through my numbers, celebrate it, okay? All right, so keep practicing, and remember, progress over perfection.